Hey guys, welcome to a very special edition of Cam's Corner. I'm your host as always, Camden Revere. It's about 5:30 in the morning here, getting ready to do a little solo practice. First one in a few months, and can't wait to show you some drills and work on some stuff with you. So as I said, it's pretty early in the morning, about 5:30, maybe closer to 6 now. And I just wanted to bring you guys in on a pretty special day for me. I haven't been able to be out on court and really practice on my own or do anything since mid-July after getting diagnosed with Lyme disease. And so this morning is my first official solo practice back in the game. And here we are in late October. Haven't really gotten to do much of anything, so I'm pretty excited to be out here. And I thought I'd share it with you all. So today what we're going to look at is some of the different warm-up drills that I do, how I would go through a solo practice on my own. I want to talk to you guys about the different things you can focus on while you're out here, different ways you can get as much out of this time on court by yourself as you can. So we're going to start off with my warm-up and go through there. I'm going to kind of give you guys some hints and tips along the way. And when I start hitting balls, I just want a little bit of a judgment-free zone because it has been a really long time. I'm not expecting a lot from myself on the accuracy standpoint today, but I'm just trying to get back into the habit of swinging a racket. So let's get the tunes fired up. Let's get ourselves nice and warm, and we'll go from there. So I like to warm up with just a couple jogs back and forth. It's part of a routine I developed a long time ago. Or just to warm the body up, get it ready to go. Doing 2 laps of each. If you've watched me play, you've probably seen this more than a few times before the match starts. Unfortunately in court tennis, now we go into side shuffles. We don't have access to the same warm-up equipment at every location, and everything's different. So the best thing you can do is build a common routine on court that you can do every time to warm that body up. All right, so now we're going to go into some band work. Incredibly important, this loosen those hips up, get everything firing before we start running around this court, lunging, striking balls. All right, so we're just going to take this band around our ankles. We're going to sidestep down the court. And back. I can really feel that in my hips. It's a good sign. That means they're nice and warm. Also feeling oddly tired, but maybe that's just because I haven't done this in a while. So now we're going to continue the band work. We've warmed up the legs to be ready to rush around this court, lunge, do all those different types of things. Now we got to warm up the upper body as well, right? Wielding that heavy racket, swinging it around. One of the most underrated things here. Most people forget to warm up the upper body, especially your shoulder and wrist. If you're going to be hitting overhead serves, you're going to be trying to snap that wrist, hit the ball hard, put a lot of spin. Got to make sure that you warm the body up completely, warm that arm up, and get it ready to go. All right, so all in all, that warm-up took about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. We went through all of those things a couple of times just to really get the body firing. Did a little stretch out afterwards, just to really make sure we have a good sweat going before we get started here. I know you're only on your own, and it doesn't seem like it makes a big difference, but it's so easy to get out here cold and just not put that extra time in, and that makes a big difference. Your ball striking is not going to be as crisp. You really want to get as much out of these 2 hours or hour practice as you can. For me, it's 2, and that practice to me starts at 6. That's why I'm out here at 5:30 to start the warm-up. make sure that by the time 6 a.m. hits, I'm ready and fired up and ready to go. I don't want to waste any time out here. I want to get as much out of this 2-hour practice as I can. So now I'm going to go into a drill which I showed you guys before, which is a three-step drop step, kind of sliding back and forth, half volleying balls. I find it's a great way to kind of get the legs and body flowing through. Yet again, I'm not too focused on where the ball is ending up. I'm more focused on my swings and my body and just getting everything lined up. So we're going to go through, we're going to do a whole bucket of it. Obviously, I told you guys you didn't have to do a full bucket. I put a bit of pressure on myself. I know I haven't played in a while, but I still want to try and fire it up as best I can. So we're going to go for the whole bucket, and we'll see how it goes. Oh. Ooh. Rusty, out of shape. But I'll take it. I'll take being out here. That's a big win to be able to get through that bucket. May not seem like much, but it's been a long road. I'm pretty happy to be able to get through that now. All right, so now we've gone through the nice footwork drill. We've gotten that going. What today's kind of practice for me is going to be very light, very basic drills. Obviously trying to get myself back into court tennis, into ball striking, mixed in with some footwork and cardio drills to really get the body used to moving around this court again. So what that means is that I'm not going to be out here hitting flashy winners and doing all those different things. And I don't really feel like I need, you should do that much of that stuff, because realistically what we need to groove is our swing and our control. If I can control the ball on the floor, I should be able to control the ball a little bit higher into an opening, a gallery, those different types of things. And for most of you, I would say that focusing on this type of drill that I'm about to show you would go a long way towards the rest of your game. So what we're going to do is a very basic shot. I'm going to throw the ball off the back wall. It's going to go back wall, side wall, and come out. I'm going to step in and hit a forehand, cross court, and my goal is to hit the star on the yellow line, the service line on the receiver's end, so that the ball just misses tan board. And then within that, I want there to be 2 bounces before the ball gets to the back wall. So that means that my opponent only has 1 chance to get to that ball. So I'm trying to not only control my direction, I'm trying to control my height over the net to give it a little bit of extra clearance, and I'm trying to control my length of my first bounce so that I know that the ball's going to die before the back wall. So by grooving that swing and grooving that footwork in there, when a match comes around, even if I don't get that exact ball, I'm going to feel a lot more comfortable about my swing, where I'm aiming, all of those different types of things. Okay, so I'll give it a go. Yet again, it's been a while. Don't judge me. Oh, wow. It's been a while. So you'll see there, very big skew right now between where my shots are going. And part of that is the footwork, and part of that is the swing. Timing is not quite right, so you're seeing I'm getting a lot of variation in where my ball is going, where the height is, and control. That third one was exactly what I wanted. Stepped in, legs did most of the work, rotation through. And you saw a nice good low trajectory hitting the spot I wanted. The ones before that though, because my timing was off, you're seeing one float. I'm not really getting to hit that ball. My contact's too far out in front. And you see another one that I pulled into the side wall. Yet again, because timing's off and feet aren't under me. So that's why this drill's good. Even players, regardless of level, myself, everybody, by grooving this swing more and more, you're going to feel more comfortable out here. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to try and groove it a little bit more, get a little bit more consistency, so I see more balls like that third one and less like the other two. All right, so started to feel the groove a bit better on that forehand by the end, and now we're going to do the exact same thing with the backhand here. Okay, we're going to go cross court, try and get the first bounce on the floor, hitting the star on the side wall under winning gallery, dying in that back corner there. Okay, yet again, just trying to groove that swing, get our hips rotating through the shots, leading with our shoulders, focusing more on the basics here, but grooving that swing and getting to feel the ball in the racket, all right? Hopefully I'll do a bit better at the start than I did on the forehand, but hey, that's why we're out here. Oh. So there you can see that my spot is pretty accurate. My angle approaching towards that star is pretty similar on all three of those shots, but my height is really varying on each one. And some of that is pulling with my shoulders, some of that is my step not being necessarily correct direction or open. Lots of little things to tweak in there. But by getting the angle right, I'm hitting a good shot every time and just focusing on that length. So regardless of my height over the net, I'm still getting 2 bounces before the back wall every time, and I'm still getting the right angle of approach going into that corner, right? And that's something we talked about earlier in this Cam's Corner series is clearance level over the net. It doesn't always have to be like that. It looks amazing when it goes over the net by 2 inches, but you can see there I gave one of those about 3 feet of clearance, still died before the back wall, still an effective shot, okay? So this is one of the things I want you out here practicing when I'm doing these things. It's not just, oh, let me get it that crisp. What is my length control looking like? What's my spot looking like? Am I still hitting a good shot even if I miss my spot by a little bit or if I don't get my body weight in it completely? All right, so I'm going to keep going, keep trying to groove this swing a little bit more as well. All right, now this might seem a little bit ridiculous, and trust me, I don't expect everybody to agree with me or to go about things the way I do them. I've always kind of done things on my own way. But one of the things I really like to do, that I've really gotten into the habit of doing, at least before I had to take this time off, was that part of my solo practice was hitting bobble serves. And a lot of that was to make my bobble more effective because it hasn't traditionally been a great serve for me. But it's also a great way, I feel, to just get that feel going, right? So I'm practicing stepping in, I'm feeling that ball off the strings, and I'm really getting comfortable with getting my first bounce where I want it to be. And I feel just to me that if I can groove that swing a little bit and really get comfortable with that ball on the strings, that it's going to pay off in the long run with all of my shots. Not to mention my bobble serve, which needs improvement to say the least. So I like to hit a bucket of bobbles too, just to get the body going yet again and to really groove that spot. All right, so we just did some bobble serving. Now I'm going to go through a couple fitness and ball striking baskets at the same time. The first one I'm going to do is one of my all-time favorites. And basically what I do is I hit a railroad and then I slide across to cover the return. Now this is something you guys can take to heart. When you hit your serves, right, it's very easy to do a practice session and just sit here and hit serve after serve after serve. And that's great, but you're not getting a footwork side of sliding back to the middle and getting into position for their return. So that's going to mean you're more likely in a match to serve and stand exactly where you were, all right? So by doing a drill like this, even if you just hit a serve and then slide to the middle, right, you're recreating what it's going to be like in a match, so you're going to be more effective, all right? I like to take that to the next level. I'm going to hit that railroad, and I'm going to slide across to cover a cut volley, all right, coming through. So mentally, what I'm picturing is an opponent, doesn't matter who it is, let's call it Tim Chisholm today, and I'm hitting a railroad to him, and he's cut volleying cross court. So I'm thinking about hitting my railroad and my footwork sliding across the middle of the court, okay, and then covering that cut volley, all right? Do 3 balls at a time, go through, see how it goes. Oh. And now you can see the ball doesn't always go where you think it's going to go. So you're not always sliding across the court. So now I'm going to add the variation of it's not just going there. Sometimes the ball comes back down the line. Sometimes I hit fat post. So forcing myself to stop more in the middle and split step to cover my options, okay? Now obviously you don't have to try and go that pace if you don't feel comfortable. Obviously that's hard for me, breathing heavy now. But you can see the effectiveness of it. Read your serve as you hit it. Don't make a decision ahead of time. Oh, I'm hitting railroad, he's gonna hit cut volley. Think about what happens when you actually hit that serve, right? Try and time it so that your movement is timed with when that person would make contact. And what I mean by that is, if you hit a serve and it goes onto the back roof, don't just slide across and just go get the ball. Wait for that ball to come off the roof, wait for it to bounce once, and then time and pick an option where they would hit that ball from there, right? Create that footwork repetition. Create that muscle memory sliding across the court. It can only help, all right? It's also gonna make you play your bad serves. It's gonna work on your cardio a little bit, get the heart rate up, all right? I'm gonna do one more drill this morning, and then I'm gonna shut it down because I'm already breathing heavy, and I gotta be careful because I'm still not allowed to get my heart rate up above a certain number. We're still within the range. But so finish off with, okay, I'm just gonna do another kind of footwork ball striking drill like that. Okay, it's gonna be a little bit simpler though. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna practice from the middle, throwing a ball against the side wall and hitting it down the line. And I'm gonna slide back to the middle. I'm gonna throw a ball off the other side wall, step across and in, hit it down the line. Okay, and what we're working on here, okay, is we're working on our footwork to and from the middle, getting used to our distances from the wall, all right, but also our stepping towards the ball and hitting that ball controlled up the line. So where in our stance we're taking the ball, how hard we're hitting it, all these different elements. Every single basic feature of a shot is coming into play in this one drill. And as simple as it may seem, it's an incredibly effective drill. All right, so yet again, what I'm gonna do is, I'll give you two examples. All right, I'm gonna start in the middle. Okay, I'm gonna throw the ball, I'm gonna turn, I'm gonna step in, I'm gonna hit it up the line, I'm gonna slide back to the middle, I'm gonna throw the ball, turn, step in, hit it up the line, slide back to the middle, and get going. Because remember, the ball doesn't always hug the wall. A lot of times it's hitting the walls and coming out into the middle area of the court. Realistically, you only need to move 1 or 2 steps from the middle, right? So we're trying to build that comfort, get used to the ball, but also get that step across, shoulders turned, all those features, all right? And then as you get better at it, you can make the throws progressively harder and harder. All right, so we're gonna take our set of 300 balls that we happen to have today. We're gonna put it right there so that we can keep it going, all right? We'll go one ball at a time. Ready? Across, stepping in, good control, grab the ball. Good. All right, guys. Well, that's a wrap on this special edition of Cam's Corner. Hope you guys enjoyed it. No, it probably wasn't most exciting as far as the drills were concerned, but it was very exciting to me to be able to be back out here on court and to be able to share this experience with you guys. It's been a long layoff for me, and it's great to be back out here, as rusty or slow as I may be, and I was really glad I could share that with you. In the meantime, before I'm allowed to get back out on court playing against opponents in tournaments, I'd love to hear your thoughts on tips that you want to see for the rest of the year. We've got about 4 or 5 weeks of episodes left before the end of the year, and I'd really like to get specific. So if you have a shot that's bothering you, a serve that you can't figure out, anything like that, please comment and let me know so that I can put together an episode for you.